Hey, how is everyone? So, I want to show you my homemade electric CBG as my headstock. Try to make it look as Fender as possible. It's oak. There's no fretboard. Put the frets right into the oak. Some of my other cigar box instruments are made a little different. I decided this isn't the best way, but for this one, because right now it's probably my most vibrant electric, I'm going to play this one just because the sound it gives off. So here we have two sound holes, Fender bridge that's been inserted. You see this on the back of a lot of guitars now. And just like any other Fender, it will slip through, come up. I made the bends perfect. No struggle to get those strings in. And there's the homemade pickup ring, and has the original artwork. Put a dice knob on it. Have my three-way selector switch. My jack there has a rattlesnake handle. These are looking kind of brassish on the camera, but these are actually silver. I don't know if you can tell, but anyway, just a way to keep those corners that get chipped up and everything. Back, I took the back of an old Dodge pedal. Use that as my plate to access my electronics. The neck is reinforced. It splits. So I have one half of the neck here, one half of the neck there. They're both reinforced by these screws. But then there's a bolt that goes through them. So this, it has, actual fasteners, which if I could actually angle this to show you inside, you won't see any screw holes. I use my own techniques. Right here we're tied off just a little rope on a old Fender strap. Let me turn that around. This is a narrow Fender strap, and the reason for that is because it came off of a Guitar Hero guitar. And I love those when I'm building CBGs and I want to use actual straps. I do sometimes make them so they look very vintage. I'll use belts, belt buckles, other things like that, because the people who buy them from me, they want something looking vintage. Half of them don't even play any instrument. They just want something for their wall. Anyway, this one I built to look like a Fender, like a vintage Fender. This actually came off the amp I'm about to show you in a minute and play on. This little Fender logo that is actually aluminum and painted black in between the letters. So right here we have what's called the Mini Twin. Dual speakers. That little Fender logo came off of where these two screws are. I'm going to use a 1-foot cord on this, and it has a prop here. This is not a belt hanger. I have belt hanger ones as well. These are vintage, but they run off a 9-volt battery. I just put a semi-used one in here, so I'm not going to get the greatest sound, but anyway, this video is already getting too long. Let me turn this on. Alright, there's our indicator light. Oh, and before this thing starts singing by itself, let me plug it in. Should have did that before, but I can't move around too much with that 1-foot cord. Got it. So, I started building these about a year ago. I sold a lot of them. There's a few I keep for myself. This is one of them. And I've only recently started playing. Before, when I was selling them, I would just do little things like just to show people they could play. Tuned to G. Best way to tune it, go up to your 7th fret, like a regular acoustic on your 5th fret, or you just want these in unison, even though that amp is making it not sound in unison. And then go to your 5th fret and those octaves should be the same. And if you get, they're in tune. So this is a song that I like. It's a Southern song. It's been under controversy. Some people say, oh, well, it was popular during the time the Confederates were coming out of the South and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? History is history, and history tells lots of lies. Christopher Columbus was a great explorer who did not think he landed in India and discovered America. So you tell me if it's a racist song or just a great bluegrass song. Take it for what it is. I'm going to play it for you. This is called Brown Rosie. All right, ready? So that's how the song's going to go. I don't sing. I'll attempt to put lyrics to it so you can identify the song, and that's how you're probably going to Google it and find it. I'm not a great singer, and it will throw me off, but away from Mississippi's where my kids are falling and it's the sweet tobacco like my guitar, I make it twang, and the birds sing almost sing. Oh, brown Rosie, rose of Arabella, sweet tobacco disease. Sang the lightning bug, he flashes wing. And the birds, they always sing for the rose of Alabama. Oh, brown rose of Alabama, sweet tobacco disease, the rose of Alabama. This is a great song. I like this part. It's particularly perverted and old. And this is the original version. Set me down, I'll cross my legs and make sure that I wasn't easy. Say she's fine there. I screwed up because, anyway, I was laughing because those lyrics are funny. Anyway. Open G, just like a banjo. Okay, so how do you play it? Oh, my amp just fell. Hold on. I know I'm making the lousiest first video for my new channel. I've never had a channel before either. Alright, so. Open. So, open. This is second fret. Open first. String. Come back, open again. Just some slides. Slide up to your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After you hit that chord, hit some of the individual notes, downstrokes only, you don't have to alternate pick. Seventh, third. Back to what you started. Great Southern song. And that's it, because the rest was played on fiddle. I want to show everybody what kind of a slide I'm using here. Let me turn this amp off for a second. Alright. Stay there. So we know I'm using the twin mini Fender amp, vintage. Those things are great. You can still find them online. Get one if you can. This is the slide I use. Thick gauge right there up at the top, where the top of your finger is going to be. Down here a little thinner, give you some movement. It's nice and tapered all the way through your finger. The great thing about this is you don't need a stubby. Screw everybody who says you need stubbies and you need to buy their stubbies. Nice little cutaway here. What does that do? That allows me to put this on my finger, like so, and bend. Even if it slides down, you just move your finger a little bit and you get your bend back. Then there is a cutaway right here. See that cutaway? So you can rest this finger against this to keep this sturdy as you're playing. Now, you're not going to get all that extra wobbly play where it's going to be like, you know, no. And also, if you're going to use a ring slide, I prefer brass over glass. Make sure it's a thick gauge, either starting at bottom or top. And then you're going to have some good sound. This is what I started with. Just a hollow, very thin gauge, brass pipe, put it on my finger. Couldn't bend when I wanted to. It would slip off. It's always too big. They don't make brass pipes tapered to your finger. It's the same width all the way through. You know, stay away from these homemade junkers. This is actually, I'm not going to take credit for this, made by a small company that deals with Ray Mullins music. I don't endorse them. I'm just a fan. and they make these, and they'll customize them how you want them to. They make these with these notches where you want to use your fingers, bends where you need them, however long or short. There's a variety. Ray Mullins Music being one of the oldest, or if not the oldest, Martin dealers in the United States, here in New England. And I found this and I loved it. Also, this company makes brass nuts. Here I have a wooden one, but I have used some of those brass nuts, and if you want to get that kind of dobro-ish sound and stuff, I say either make them or buy them. It's pretty cool. So I hope I sounded pretty decent for you. This is, again, my first video, and you're not going to find anybody else playing this song on there. It's controversial, but it's still a beautiful song. Southern but bluegrass. Okay, thank you. Let me know what you think, and if you know a way I can improve this song, because when I wanted to learn this song, both on regular guitar and cigar box guitar, I had no problem finding tablature and things on regular guitar, but on cigar box guitar, I had to make it up. I made this up. So I had no template for this. Didn't use any tablets or any notes. I made it up the best I could by ear. I want to see if somebody can come up with a little tweak on it and make a little bit of a better version. I'm not Professor Cigar Box over here. I want everybody's input, and I want to see what you can teach me, not the other way around. All right, thanks. This is Red Roadie signing out.